Hello YouTube and welcome to our video. Long time no see, haven't made a videos in quite a while, or stream. I just got bored of streaming and I've been too busy to make any videos. But yeah, as you can probably tell, a video on my channel has been getting quite a lot of attention. The budget capture cards one, as the old one has also. But I was just chilling, deciding not to make any videos because I'm too lazy. And Cloner Alliance, which is a capture card company, decided to give me a message and tell me that their capture card wasn't on my top 5 list. So I did a little bit of research on the company because I hadn't heard of it before. It's not like Elgato, which are really popular, but I had a look at some of their products and I thought, pretty cool, they seem alright. And for this video they actually gave me one of their products, which is the Flint4KP. It's one of their, I guess, best gaming capture cards. So over the past week or so I've been testing out, fixing some errors, making it look as good as it possibly can, or how capture cards are meant to. So I've been finding all the pros and the cons to give you guys a very accurate review, because when I looked up on YouTube I seen that there was no reviews on this capture card, so I'd be the first person doing a review on this capture card. Okay, I've gone on enough about some irrelevant stuff, so I'm just going to get straight into the capture card. One of the main selling points for this capture card is that it's one of the cheapest 1080p 60 FPS capture cards out there, and there's a reason why this is a lot cheaper than the other companies, and that is that companies like Elgato have been doing this for a long time and they have a lot more experience there. For example, their software is a lot more polished. Just things like that kind of make that price difference. However, another cool feature that this capture card has is that it has a 4K pass-through. So that means that if you had a 4K input, you could output it to the TV as 4K, but you can't record at 4K. Now this feature is very useful for those people who have, for example, a new generation console, the PS4 Pro or whatever it is, that output 4K, and they want to see 4K on their TV, but they want to stream or capture at 1080p, then this feature will help them do that while they can also see the 4K. Now, two other great things about the card that you won't get just from looking at the specifications is that it's actually pretty small and the temperatures are really low as well. It has some kind of technology which means that it doesn't overheat. And with my previous AVmedia card, I noticed that it got really hot, which was not necessarily a problem, but it was definitely noticeable during streaming. Another huge selling point about this card is that it uses USB 3.0, so it has extremely low latency, and it's actually really noticeable compared to my previous card because I can actually almost play the game on the preview, which is weird. Now the final few pros about this card are going to be about the setup. So the initial setup is actually very easy. It's a lot easier than my previous card. There's no drivers you need to install, and there's multiple formats that are supported. On top of that, when you buy the actual capture card, it comes with 3 free pieces of software. So the first one is the HTML Cloner Pro Helper, which is essentially a very simple recording software, which is pretty useful. The second one is an MP4 Cloner, which is some kind of simple editing tool. I haven't used it because I'm not used to using other editing tools apart from Sony Vegas. And the third one is the Cloner Alliance app, which I believe allows broadcasting and recording via mobile devices, which is really cool. I have never heard of any other capture card being able to record from the mobile device, which is pretty awesome. I mean, for me there's not many uses, but for other people it might be really useful, I guess. And the last thing that I've noticed is that it's really compatible with third-party live streaming software or recording software. For example, my last capture card, the AVmedia one, I had to install software for it to be able to be used in third-party software like OBS, etc. But this card you can just straight away put into OBS, and if that's what you're looking for, it's very easy. Okay, going on to some of the cons. The main one for me was that I had a lot of USB errors. Maybe it's just personally for me for some reason, but first time I put it in, the first USB I put in, it just wasn't working. Next one I put in, it was just really low quality. Luckily I did get it working on my laptop, however that has a C-type USB port in it, and within the capture card box you actually get adapters, but you're going to need a C-type port on your device that you're recording from, or you can buy a USB to USB adapter, I guess. Okay, so despite having to deal with these errors, the customer service was very good. They repeatedly contacted me with multiple errors that I've had, and they replied within 12 hours honestly every time, and it could honestly be less because we live in different time zones. And I'm sure if you had that kind of USB error and you didn't have a C-type port, they'd be willing to probably get your USB to USB adapter. So after I got that 1080p 60 FPS quality, I had one more issue, and that was, for me at least, the brightness was too low, or it was too dark. Luckily this was the easiest fix because all you had to do was go into OBS if you're streaming, just quickly change the settings and put the brightness up from there. Or if you had a pre-recorded clip, it would look better if you went into Sony Vegas and put the brightness, contrast, mess around with that until you get a good picture. I'll show an on-screen difference of how it looked before I edited the brightness and stuff like that, and how it did after. And if you're wondering how the quality actually does look, I will be playing Spider-Man PS4 gameplay in the background, captured by the Flint4KP. So now we're done with the specific overview. I'm going to show you guys what was in the box when it came. So firstly, you have the instruction manual, which is short because it's, like I said, it's very simple to set up initially. And next you have kind of thank you leaflet, which says that you actually have a 90-day money back guarantee. Now, I really like that when I seen it because it shows you that they're confident in their product, and if you don't like it, you can just return it. And then they also show their customer service. And what I didn't mention with the customer service is that I didn't use the live chat, which would be instant. I emailed them, and then that's what I was talking about when they responded in 12 hours. So like I said, pretty good service. The next thing you notice is the wrapped up capture card. And here's where I was surprised because I didn't expect it to be that small. But anyway, on one side you have the line out, the mic, the line in, and the C-type USB which you connect to your computer. And on the other side you simply have HDMI in and HDMI out. Now onto the cables within the box. You initially have the C-type USB to USB cable, which is going to be needed to power up the device, and obviously using USB 3.0 to get that low latency which I was talking about. Next up, we are given a HDMI to HDMI cable, so there's no need to purchase another HDMI cable in order to record wherever you want to record. Okay, so here's where it gets interesting because they have two C-type USB adapters, one of which with a USB 3.0 female and the other with a USB 2.0 female. So if your computer didn't support USB 3.0 for some reason, you'd be able to use this adapter as long as you had a C-type USB port on it, or you could buy the USB to USB adapter as we talked about previously. And finally, we have a micro USB to USB female adapter. I guess it's for recording with the mobile device. I'm purely guessing here that you could use a C-type USB adapters to connect to a C-type USB phone, and for like an iPhone, iOS devices, I'm not sure how that's going to work or if the app is even supported. But if it was supported, you could use some kind of lightning cable adapter, I guess. Now for my final thoughts on this product, I'm going to say it's a pretty good product, especially considering all the features I've said, the 4K pass-through, the 1080p 60 FPS quality, and considering it has all these features for actually a pretty low price compared to the other 1080p 60 FPS capture cards. I'm going to say this is a pretty good value for money capture card. So to summarize, the main features of this card is the 1080p 60 FPS quality, the low latency using USB 3.0, recording from mobile, and the 4K pass-through feature. If any of those features seemed interesting to you, I'd definitely recommend checking out the capture card. I'll leave links below. And to finish off this video, I just want to say thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for supporting my channel, especially on the other videos, and a big thanks goes to Clean Alliance who made this video happen. Without them, I wouldn't have actually been able to review this card at all. But anyway guys, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in another video.
It sure takes where to start.